Hello, hi, and welcome. I'm the one who writes, aka that cat who be writing, and I am forever hopping on trends late. Last year, 75 Day Hard was like something that took the internet by storm, as well as the Great Lock-in around September. 75 Day Hard, I think, like happened in like the spring slash summertime, and I did kind of attempt it, and then I also attempted the like 6 months change your life challenge. But basically, I'm a part of a writing group, and someone on that Discord was like, hey, someone needs to talk me out of doing a 75-day soft challenge. And I was like, I'll do you one better. If you do it, I'll do it with you. So we have been just kind of like talking back and forth and figuring out what it was. Basically, she was like, I still want to keep the element of if you fail, you have to start over. Scary, terrifying. I was kind of like, girl, that's the 75-day hard challenge. But I mean, I think I like a challenge, so let's do it. And I did pick pretty like easy tasks for myself, so we'll kind of like go into that after I'm done explaining here. Um, Basically, we were kind of like talking about, like, are we going to be competitive? And we are. We're going to try and win. Whoever completes the 75 days first wins, because remember, we can be forced to start over. There was a couple of aspects that I had to be thoughtful of, mindful of, basically, is that during this challenge, I believe it's going to end on October 4th. I just haven't done the math yet, but I will be gone out of state. So I had to pick tasks that I could do daily and tasks that I could do away from my abode. And there was a couple of things that I want to clarify, like for myself. So we'll get into it. Don't worry, don't worry. If you're watching the shorts at all and you're concerned about my manuscript challenge that I'm also doing, which currently, as of filming, I'm on day 222 of, then don't worry, those videos are still going to go out. This is going to be a main channel video only with the updates on the main channel. Just for my own analytics, I do like to show off what journal I'm currently in, since a lot of my channel right now is about journaling. And the shorts are really talking about my manuscript, but not a lot of the main channel is talking about my manuscript yet. But anyway, this is journal 176. I'm very curious to see how many journals I can fill in 75 days, as well as kind of like a side analytics thing, not really a challenge, because I'm just going to be filling them as normal. Let's see how far I am into this journal. This is kind of like a side quest basically here, but a side quest I'm very excited about. So this is how far we are into the journal. Don't let the book thing fool ya. I'm not there. I'm right here. So we have, let's see, about like 1, 2, 3, 4 more signatures left in this. Pretty good, pretty decent. I've been in it for 6 days. So yes, 6 days. Just turned midnight. Speaking about midnight, one of the things that I'm going to say is that I am a strict, firm believer that time is just an illusion that we all agreed on. I know like some people are like, no, but like the sun rises and it sets. Not in Alaska. Sometimes you're there in darkness for 6 months. Sometimes you're there in brightness for 6 months. That's what I'm saying. Am I in Alaska? No. Am I going to Alaska? Yes. And I'm going to be there, and I'm going to see the sun at like midnight days, and it's going to be amazing. I'm going to be very excited. I get to see midnight sun. Oh, I'm so excited. Kind of sounds like that Twilight book, but anyway. Anyway, I'm surprised that they like didn't like mention that. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. So basically, when I was picking the task for myself, I was like, okay, it has to be something that will upgrade and improve my life, and it has to be something that I can do every single day. So all my weekly tasks were gone. Ugh. And it had to be something that I could do still while on my trip. And I had literally just been talking about on my short for the day 221, I was basically talking about how I was like a little bit frustrated. I was a little bit overwhelmed with like life admin. And there's like basically like three categories that I'm a little bit frustrated in, that I'm not making enough progress. Is that I was feeling like, because I was having such a bad off month or month or two, I like do not feel like that I'm making enough progress in my book. I'm definitely not going to meet my goal for end of July having part one done again. That's a little frustrating for me, but it's okay. It is what it is. And then I have another goal where I want to leave the current state that I'm in and move up north. I just want trees. I want snow. If you watched my vision board video, then you know that that is a goal. And I feel like that we're over halfway through the year and I haven't made a lot of progress in that goal. And then the other goal is that I have been decluttering my house for 2 years. I started it way back in May of 2024. And I feel like I still have such a long way to go. Like, definitely, I have a lot of progress, especially like thinking back to where I was in January of 2024 when I just had like a pathway in my office and it was so cluttered. I got rid of a lot of stuff. I used to have like a crafting table that I sold. You guys used to be filmed on that, and then you moved over to my old wind desk, and now you guys are on my new standing white desk. So isn't that amazing? And I have like so many life upgrades as well that I've made, but I also am having to give myself grace. It's not like I'm just decluttering what's in my apartment. I am taking like totes and storage boxes from my parents' place, bringing it over here and going through it here just so then I can clear up space for them. And then also I can like sell some old stuff and like make some extra cash. Especially back in last year of 2025, I had a goal to make $1,500 before May of 2025. And I started that in January of 2025 because I was going on a trip with my brother in May. And that was the kind of savings that I wanted to have. So I did all that, have to have grace, but that was the three areas that I was frustrated with. Basically, writing, not escaping, and decluttering. So I was like, all right, we should probably focus on those three frustration areas. And I came up with some of the goals. And then my partner in crime in this challenge came up with 6 goals. So I came up with 3 more just so then we can be competitive and we can do everything else. I am going to say that going back to the midnight comment, I'm not going to count midnight as the cutoff day or cutoff time. Basically, like if I take a nap and it's past midnight and I wake up and I do the activities thinking that it's for the other day because I took a nap and I haven't slumbered into the next day yet, then it will still count, especially if I actually slumber, then wake up and then do the next day's activities. That's how I'm counting it. I'm a night owl, so is my partner in crime. So we're both night owls and time is just an illusion. So, another thing that I'm going to allow myself, especially since we are doing the start over days, is that if I have a bad migraine day, and how I describe a bad migraine day is that I've taken my migraine medicine and I'm still not functional, then we can have grace days and we can do half of the list basically. So we just have to complete 3 items instead of all 6 items. But let's get into the items that I picked. So the first one is my PT stretches. If you have been on the channel, then you probably have heard me talk a lot about this. I injured my Achilles tendons when I was in Egypt way back in December of 2024. I didn't know about it until around August of 2025. And I didn't like really get it fixed. I didn't get into the specialist until October of 2025. So I walked on 2 injured Achilles tendons for 10 months straight. Also in that time period, I was really trying to like up my activity. I was going on walks. I was trying to do 3-mile walks a day. Not helping my tendons. I seriously thought that the pain was the muscle gain. I didn't quite realize that the pain I was feeling was in my tendon and not just in my calf muscle. So that was a whoopsie, my bad. But anyway, got into PT in December of 2025 and a full year after the injury. And I've been in PT ever since. I went back, I thought I was going to be released, and they were like, your left leg has regressed. You have lost 3 degrees of flexibility in your foot ankle area. Not great, not great. We want 10 degrees of me being able to do this with my foot. And I had 8, and then now I just have 5. So, I have to do stretches now every single day. So I'm going to do the stretches. I think this will be the most challenging one, oddly enough. But that's why I put it first. And then 20 minutes of writing / a writing goal per day. This one I think will be very, very easy. This is the one that I was kind of like, okay, how am I going to do this while I'm in Alaska? This one I'm going to do like a little bit of wordplay. So see how I say 20 minutes of writing and not 20 minutes of working on my main manuscript? So the shorts are only me working on my main manuscript, and I haven't been working on any other writing projects other than that main manuscript. In Alaska, I'm going to bring a printed out version of a different book that is like partially done. I'm going to read it and I'm going to outline it while I'm in Alaska. This means I will not be working on my main manuscript. If I am working on my main manuscript, then I will be taking sticky notes like this. This is what I've been doing in my main manuscript. Basically, I will write down like what happens if they turned left instead of right. On like sticky notes and things like that. And these are the ponder overs. So I can either bring 10 ponder overs and just try and ponder per day. I don't think I'll have like the brain power to do that, but I'm hoping that I can do the outlining kind of thing for 20 minutes per day in a different novel, basically. And then that way I can have an outline. Then I have to do 10 minutes minimum of escape opportunities. So the reason why I'm saying like you have to do 10 minutes minimum of escape opportunities, except for like instead of saying you have to apply to leave the state and things like that, is because I know from experience that applying can take multiple hours, especially if you're trying to like freshen up your resume to highlight the tasks that this particular job wants out of you, and then also cover letters. Those can take multiple hours. It can be also overwhelming. And then also sometimes you can get like through most of the application process just to find out that they want natives of the state, or something like that. So, I just have to do 10 minutes. I'm hoping that I will like get the ball rolling and then I will do more. But again, we're doing a 75-day soft, not 75-day hard. If I was doing hard, I would say I would have to apply every single day. This also I'm very excited for because it will help with my 1,000 rejections challenge that I also started earlier this year back in February. I have around, I think like 30 to 40 attempts, which I was doing really good at the beginning of the year and then really fell off. So yes, this will help with that. I also will have a secret goal of how many applications I want to send out a week, but I'm not putting it on here because I don't know yet. Like I said, it can take multiple hours to fill out an application to leave the state for whatever reason, like job, school, whatever. How I'm going to do this one in Alaska is that I'm going to be searching while I'm in Alaska for Alaskan things. I have about 4 days to myself where I can do whatever I want. And I'm hoping that I can maybe schedule interviews and things like that, or maybe just like look around for opportunities to leave. The other thing addresses my other stressor, the decluttering. I'm going to declutter 1 item per day. That is the minimum. And I'm only going to allow myself to stack the items right before I leave for Alaska. So Alaska is going to be about a 10-day trip. So the week prior, I can do 10 extra items and then it will count for the days that I'm in Alaska. That's what I'm allowing myself. But if tomorrow I find 5 items that I want to declutter, then I will just count it as 1 because they don't stack. And quite frankly, I probably have well over 75 items that I'm going to declutter. I do have about like 4 bags, like 2 big tote bags and 2 small tote bags worth of items that I've already deemed decluttering. Obviously, those don't count. And I also am just going to put them in the tote bags and then maybe like at the end of the challenge donate them, or like it really just depends on how stressed out I get. But the reason why I'm not having them leave my house every single day is because there's like certain furniture items that I want to sell and I can't control if it sells that day or not. So I do want to be reasonable with myself. Again, it's 75 days soft, not 75-day hard. If I was doing hard, maybe I would say that the item has to leave my house that day. And then if I was smart, just kind of pre-pick out like items for the next week and try and sell it and then count it. I don't know if that would be cheating. Okay, so the other thing that I have is 10 minutes of weekly tasks. So on my vision board video, there were these little case sticky notes like this one. So this one says paint my desk calendar, which I've been slowly trying to do for quite some time. I want to say almost a year, pretty much since I've had it. But anyway, so I have these like case sticky notes. I had, I think, around like 35 to 40 of them at the beginning of the year, and then I've been slowly working my way up. I capped it at 52, so then it would be like once per week. But on one of those sticky notes is actually use up Delilah's journal. I'll show you how far I am. Okay, so we're about a signature out of, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 signatures. So we have 4 signatures left to go in this journal. This was basically like my main goal, is that I want to finish up Delilah's journal. We just celebrated her 15th gotcha day. So she's 15 years old, and I really wanted to finish this journal this year. Though I am very reasonable, like I said again, this is not going to last over 75 days if I'm doing it consistently. So I was like, okay, I just have to do about 10 minutes. And if, like, let's say that it's kind of like a boring Delilah day, then basically I think what I'm going to do is just like time myself and then finish whatever entry I have for the journal and then move on to another project. I also have a couple of items lined up already that I'm very excited to do. Basically, like my friend is super into Resident Evil, and I really, really want to rewatch all the Resident Evil games. And he was like, "Hey, I'll play the games, and you can watch me play them." So I'm gonna do that, and while I'm watching him play, I'm gonna do some craft things, which will count as my 10 minutes of the weekly task. Of course, I'm gonna do this every single day. The reason why I'm not saying like do a weekly task every single day, A, I don't have 75 of the tasks, and B, some of the tasks take like well over like 5 hours to do. I will admit this one is the one that I think is going to be tricky while I'm in Alaska. The only thing I can think of is that I do have finished reading Rise Up, which is a poetry book that I've been reading since 2021. I'm this far into it. This is the book. It's really amazing. The fact that I've been taking so long to read it is no comment on how good it is, other than it just really, really makes me think. So yeah, I said Rise Up, but it's called I'm Rising, so my bad. But anyway, I have like this much left of it, and like I said, I'm going to be in Alaska for 10 days. If I do 10 minutes per day, that's 100 minutes. No way that this is going to basically like take me 100 minutes, because like I said, it's poetry. So I did notice this while I was trying to get this sticky note though, that I have 2 that basically say the same thing: journal about the PT exercises and journal what I did in PT. So I do have 1 more sticky note basically that I can give myself, and it just should be a sticky note that could take up the other, like, I don't know, maybe 8-ish days, 8 to 7 days. One thing that I am kind of thinking, and hopefully my partner will not think that this is cheating, I could make one of the weekly tasks to outline the project that I was talking about, that I was going to spend 20 minutes a day writing in Alaska, and then that way I could do these 2 things. So let me know, Lisa, if you think that that's me cheating. If so, I'll come up with something else. Okay, the very last one, I am doing 2 kilometers or 2.5 thousand steps a day. This one is very, very easy. I'm pretty much accomplishing this every day. The reason why I put it in kilometers is because that is what Pokemon Go has it in. If you've been around my channel, you know that I am a huge Pokemon Go fan. And they have the daily eggs that you can hatch, and they are 2 kilometer eggs. So yeah, I'm basically just making sure that I hatch my daily egg. But yeah, like I said, it's 75 day soft. It's not 75 day hard. If I was doing 75 day hard, I would probably do like either 5K steps or 10K steps if I was like really, really thinking I was up to it. Which, I mean, my foot is, it's really just the stretching that and the impact that is hurting it. So like my PT literally is kind of like a whole workout in itself now. It's not just like sit down and move your foot in a certain way. It is like you are going to feel pain and you are going to work up a sweat. If you guys have seen these in my shorts, I did pull this off my desk for you guys. I did want to kind of explain why I'm not doing certain things that's already on my habit tracker. So we have the writing, and then I have my anti-stress vitamins. I take 5-HTP. If you guys were curious, if you wanted to ask your doctor about it. I wouldn't suggest this brand. This brand does give me like a little bit of a stomach ache. So the reason why I didn't add my daily like anti-stress vitamin, because that would be like super hard or like super easy for me to do, is because I'm ordering the brand that doesn't hurt my stomach. And it says that it's going to arrive tomorrow, which is when we start, July 21st. I just don't know if it's actually going to arrive, and I don't want to lose on the first day. In the Delilah journal, I kind of already explained, basically I just don't think that it's going to take the 75 days. You can see that I was only challenging myself to do like 1 job application per week. That was kind of like a hesitant goal for myself. Protein, you can see I was doing really good at the beginning of the month, and then I kind of fell off right after PokeFest. That's what this line, the 11th through the 13th was. That really, like the protein really depends on my financial status. If I'm doing pretty good, I can get the protein that I need. If I'm doing pretty bad, I can't. This is basically only counting protein shakes, by the way. It's not counting like the grams of protein that I have. I'm kind of working on that. Stretching obviously was doing really bad, but we can see that stretching is right here. This stretching was not the PT stretching. It was before I realized that I had to do the PT stretching. And then I was trying to do a plank a day, so then I could do like basically like a 2-minute plank. That was my goal. I don't know with all the hiking I will be doing in Alaska if I can do a plank afterwards. I am working up to that. Like I said, my Achilles tendons are injured, but yeah, like originally I said like, oh, it had to be a 2-minute plank, and then I realized that that was pretty hard. And so I was like, I'm just gonna work up to a 2-minute plank and then go from there. I did have a pretty good paper declutter thing going on, but that kind of just like also depends on like how chunky the journal is getting. So my last journal, this journal 175, she got pretty chunky. Like you can see that this is a little bit concerning, and like she is kind of popping out, as you can see. This is the inside cover if you guys are curious. But basically, like I just don't want to ruin my journals with a paper declutter. And what I mean by a paper declutter is that I put it in my journal and then I threw away like the rest. So it was just like a declutter item that makes it into the journal, not a declutter item that like gets thrown away or anything like that. And then I did have walk on the treadmill. This I kind of stopped keeping track because I was walking off of the treadmill, but it is going to get hot, so I will probably end up walking on the treadmill anyway. But that's why I want to explain like my different habit tracker, because I know I show it in my shorts a lot. I say a lot. I think there was like over 90 days where I didn't show you guys my habit tracker actually. Whoops, my bad. Okay, well, I'm super excited about this. I feel like that this is a great, like, just jumping off point to getting me started in these kind of challenges. It's not as hard as I could make it. I mean, like, I could have said, you know, like, post a short every single day, but I'm already doing that for the manuscript thing. Even though there's a couple of days that I missed, but I don't think anyone really noticed, where, like, it was a couple hours, and I was like, oh, I thought I scheduled it, and I hadn't. Whoops. So, But yeah, and then like if I had like weekly challenges, I probably would have like added like video editing. I thought about putting like a certain number of minutes, like maybe 10 minutes of video editing per day for the main channel. So like big long form media, which is what I talk like when I say the main channel, this is what I mean. Is like basically long form instead of short form. But again, like with the migraines, so we're starting this on July 21st, right? August was my biggest migraine season last year. I'm hoping that it's not going to be as bad as it was last year because I have a lot less stresses in my life because I've been slowly cutting them out. But again, August is pretty hot. Into July is pretty hot. It's getting hot. Like here, the real feel was 108, but the actual temperature was 103. And then they were saying that the real feel later on will or the actual temperature later on this week will be 108, which is just like no one should leave their air conditioned houses at that point. So I didn't want to give myself a lot of screen time, especially because this will have screen time and this will have screen time on top of my job that has screen time. But I hope that you guys enjoy. I will update you guys periodically. You guys are going to get late updates. You probably will see this way later, but I will let you know. Editor Catherine will probably know if I win or fail. Wish me luck. And if you guys are starting this challenge or have done the challenge before, let me know. I want to know in the comments below. Hi, not quite yet to editing Catherine here, but might as well be editor Catherine. And I decided that I'm going to basically tell you what the weekly tasks are. I think that this will be really good, especially for analytics, to see where I was and where I left off. So let me preference the weekly tasks. They were my 2026 achievements or goals for the year. I like basically picked out like I said 35 to 40 of them at the beginning of the year, and I kept myself off at 52. However, like I found in the video, I found a duplicate, and while I was kind of looking over right before I was going to start recording, I found another duplicate. And I have done some. I've done for sure 6 monthly letters, and I think I've done like a couple others at the very, very beginning of the year. But let's go ahead and get into it. So number 1 is to finish Project Green, which is my main manuscript. And then number 2 is to send it off for submission. Number 3 is to finish writing Project Kidnap, which is a short story. Number 4 is to finish the project journal for Project Green. This I might be able to do in Alaska. 5 is to finish the project journal for Project Orange. And then number 6 is to finish the project journal for Project Kidnapped. Number 7 is to finish the project journal for Project Brown. Number 8 is to finish painting the desk calendar. Number 9 is to finish painting my phone holder for my desk. Number 10 is to paint a Halo Ice Cream Master Chief figure. Number 11 is to hang the golden framed memes. Number 12 is to frame my computers. Number 13 is to frame my TV. Number 14 is to go over the love poetry book. This is referring to one that I'm writing, not one that I'm reading. 15 is to use up Delilah's journal and finish it this year. 16 is to journal about survival skills. 17 is to move into my new password book that I bought. 18 is to make a Persian journal, Persian the Pokemon. 19 is to finish the August letter. 20 is to finish the July letter. Obviously, those are flip-flopped. 21 is to finish the September letter. 22 is to do a November letter. The reason why I am skipping over October is because I always write myself Halloween letters anyway. 23 is to finish backhanded compliments. 24 is to write my birthday letter. 25 is to journal my star chart. 26 is to finish the vision board for my main manuscripts. 27 is a huge one. It is to write down all recorded dreams. 28 is to go car camping. 29 is to write a letter for 2033, Catherine, because Metro 2033 and The Last of Us takes place there. 30 is to finish all my journal catch-ups. That's a huge one too. 31 is to finish my Germany journal from when I went over 10 years ago. 32 is to cut up a towel and make washcloths out of it. It's mainly because I cannot find washcloths in the color blue that I need that will match my towels, so I sacrificed one of them. 33 is to add pictures into the coasters on my desk. 34 is to finish a Halo journal that I'm working on, not the one that you'll see at the end of July of this year, but a different one. It's a secret project. 35 is one that I've been wanting to do for a minimum of 3 years, and it is to post pictures on Instagram using the lyrics of White Woman's Instagram by Bo Burnham. And 36 is to finish writing about Egypt, another pretty chunky one. I just went through all my used journals and I have completed 12 of my weekly tasks / the 2026 goals. I also just realized that I did not say finishing I'm Rising while I was reading everything, so that actually puts us at 37, and with the 12 that I've already completed, puts us at 49, so I have 3 more tasks that I can add in order to hit the 52. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and remember to always find a reason and excuse to write, and right now I'm about to go write because I haven't written for the day. All right, bye-bye!